kind of an unboxing video, if you will, today. Of course, I've already taken it out of the box, but you guys out there, if you're regular listeners or watchers to Longbox Crusade programming, know that Jarrod likes his old school 80s analog stuff. And I have a bunch of cassettes. I have like a nice little cassette collection of some of my favorite stuff from the 80s and 90s. And most of it is out in my building. But I do a lot of walking, a lot of jogging. I listen to a lot of podcasts and stuff. And I just sort of got a hankering for the old days of jogging with a cassette player, a Walkman, if you will, because I had all the cassettes, and I've got a cool, that very 80s, 90s shelf system out in my building that's got the cassette players and the CD players and all that, and I love it. I wanted to go portable with it like I did back in the day. So I started going on the hunt for a Walkman. And let me tell you something, getting Walkmans in the secondary market these days, mostly off of eBay is the best place to find them. It's a real pain. It is a real pain because Walkmans tend to have technical problems later in life. I think they use like some kind of, I was reading up on it, they use some sort of like rubber, like grommets or bands in there that deteriorate over time. And they have to be replaced. So if you're an electronics kind of person, you know how to replace them, then that's cool. But if you're not like me, then you kind of have to just find one that works. And actually, this is the third one that I ordered from eBay. I ordered a couple that looked really cool, and I really, really liked them. And the funny part was they were the exact same brand, the exact same model. And the real weird part was if you put a tape in, it played just fine if it laid flat like this. But as soon as you stood up on your side, like clipped it to your belt, it would start to slow down. Same exact model, same exact brand I bought from two different sellers, had the same exact problem. So I thought, you know what? I'll just buy one that's new and sealed. What up, Bot Boy Versus? Good to see you. Welcome to my quasi nostalgia talk on on this quick live stream that I just wanted to share with everybody. It's good to see you, Bot Boy. So anyway, I have all the cassettes I could ever want, although I'm always hunting more exciting ones out in the building. And I ordered this bad boy and it came in. And so I figured we would do a live stream. I'm hoping this is going to go successfully, that I'm going to open this up and test it. I have some testing materials here. I have two of my very favorite cassettes. These, I have the Living Daylights and I have the Batman soundtrack by Prince. These are probably the two most meaningful cassettes to me on the planet, period. These are the ones I grew up with. These are the ones I listened to the most as a kid and into adulthood. So I brought these in for testing purposes. These have been chosen for the great honor of testing purposes. So I have my batteries. I hope this one just takes two batteries because I only prepared two batteries. But yeah, it does. Two batteries, it says so on the back. Very cool. And it comes with the headphones with the foamy kind. I was always partial all the way from high school on up to this style, the over the head in the ear, sort of pre-earbuds style. My very favorite ones were these Sony's made a set like this. And let me tell you something. I don't know that they make them anymore, because if you want to buy those in the secondary market, I mean, you're looking at easily $50 for a used pair. If you find a new one sealed like this, shoot, maybe $100. But luckily, these are by Koss. Koss makes these to this day. These are new, not vintage. And very affordable. These Koss ones, which operate pretty much exactly the same way as the old Sony ones, they're only about $15, and they come in a variety of colors. I have them in the gray right here. I also have a purple pair, and I think I have a green pair as well. Yeah, you can't go wrong with wired headphones because you never have to remember to charge them. Bot Boy chimes in and says that the Batman soundtrack is a classic, and you are correct. This is the soundtrack that got me into Prince in general. Prince would become my favorite artist all time, and it's thanks to that. So I guess it's moment of truth time. I have the RCA RP 1824, so one of their last models of cassette player. And I have a good friend of mine that worked at Radio Shack all the way up until they closed. And he said that he thought this was the last model that they were ever selling at Radio Shack. So I got my scissors because we all know this packaging. You guys are about to watch me struggle. I'm certain you guys remember this packaging from back in the day, from like 90s into 80s into 2000s. This packaging is fierce, right? This is fierce packaging. It's funny. My son, there's no way my teenage son could get into this without hurting himself. It's funny when you see on the news, like teenagers broke in Apple store and stole a bunch of iPhones. I'm like, if you just package iPhones in this, man, teenagers today, there's no way they could get into it. I'm probably going to struggle getting into it now, but I got my scissors. I got my RP 1824 and I'm about to cut it open, and I'll flip it to this side so I don't accidentally cut any wires or anything. The way I always did it was to start up here and then cut across to the little hanger hole there. I wonder how like different people's style for opening this kind of packaging, right? This packaging is like the most brutal. I usually trim that off. Hey, Courtney, I see you in the chat. Thank you for stopping by. Bot Boy is also in the chat. He said, yeah, this is basically like you can steal it, but theft proof. That's right. You could steal it, but you might never get in it. And then you can start to separate it. And then, like I said, I usually move across the hole. And this was just my method. And then I would slide the scissors. I should have put my glasses on because I'm not seeing good in there. And then cut across like that. Boom. And then just for a little added help, because this packaging is the double, I snip here and here. And then I pull real hard and hope that it splits. And it's splitting, but I want to give it a little more help on that side. There we go. There it goes. It just wanted to come out. Let's trim this some more. Again, I'm not going to use the packed in headphones more than likely. I'll probably keep them as a backup. Now, the good news is that the foam on them is still like it's brand new. So this packaging sealing has been doing its job. Because if it came out and I rubbed this and it started deteriorating immediately, I'd be a little worried about the components for the cassette player itself. But the foam here is still very, very lively. Again, I probably won't. The smell, by the way, is incredible. It just smells like that old electronics when you open it. So the seal on this was clearly very good, which makes me happy, which makes me believe all the rubber pieces and parts that tend to go bad in here are probably working. So this is very exciting. I have my camera down right now so you guys can watch me do all this, but I am actually wearing my jogging gear. So I am literally, if this is successful, I'm literally going from this live stream on my daily jog with the Walkman with the RCA cassette player. It's very, very light. It's extremely light. I don't know that I've ever had one this light. The tray pops open well. You could definitely tell this is a late model. They've really figured out how to slim up just about everything. Courtney came in and a little later on. I had just mentioned Courtney, but I'll do it again for you. She asked me what cassette tapes you listen to. My first two I picked from my collection of the most important cassette tapes to me ever. I have the Batman soundtrack by Prince. This is the soundtrack that got me into Prince, who would become my favorite musician of all time. And I have the Living Daylight soundtrack from the James Bond movie. I listen to this over and over and over again. In fact, I've said on multiple occasions that before I die, I would love to go back to Fulda, Germany, which is where I lived when this movie came out. And I would love to, probably with this cassette player, pop this in and listen to this as I sit in the town square in front of the cathedral. These two very much remind me of my time in Germany, but this one more than anything, that would be wonderful. So those are the two tapes I'm going to be going with. Okay, so we've got it open. Like I said, it's very light. I'm very excited because the packed-in headphones, styrofoam on them is still very, very viable. So it's not falling apart, which means it hasn't had too much deterioration. I think the sealing on that package, we all know that packaging is sealed amazingly well. I think the sealing did its job pretty well, but we're going to find out. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is the first thing I always do when I ever got one of these Walkmans from the time I was in high school all the way to this moment. I take the volume knob and I turn it all the way down. There's nothing worse than putting in your first tape and pressing play and it blowing your eardrums out. So I always start with it down and then I move up to comfort once I start playing it. It also has a AM FM radio tuner on it. Again, this is extremely light for such a multifaceted piece of technology. It's got FM, AM, FM, and tape, and the tuner's there. The volume knob is here, and it's got the 3 button, the stop, the play, and the fast forward or rewind, depending on which side of the cassette you have it in. There's the tuner display. All right, let's put batteries in it. Let's put batteries. It's got that little ribbon that you can put the battery over to make it easy to pop out. All right, according to the picture, it goes negative in first, slide in, repeat with second battery. I bought these batteries at Ollie's the other day. I was at Ollie's and they were selling these big packs of AA's on the cheap, and I bought a bunch of them, so hopefully I got 2 good ones out of there. All right, it's got a removable belt clip too, by the way. All right, so we got batteries in. Fingers are crossed. Let's go ahead and get the headphones in. Again, this has been my favorite style of headphones since high school. These over-the-head, in-the-ear bud style. And let's see, where's the jack? I see it. It's right there. Pop that in. All right, I'm very excited. You have no idea how excited. I don't remember the last time I've listened to a cassette on a portable cassette player. Like I said, I have my running gear on. You can't see me because I have the camera down, but I plan on running with this if this is a successful test almost immediately after I finish the live stream. Okay, we are open. Let's go with, you know what, for testing purposes, I'm going to go with Living Daylights because I think the Batman one is more fun to run to. So I'll switch them out and I'll run with this one when I finish the test. So let's go with the Living Daylights. Okay, put that in. Oh, you guys want to hear? It's like the AMSR videos. You want to hear that? There you go. All right, everybody, I want your fingers crossed for me. I'm putting the headphones on. This wire all discombobulated. Press play, and then I'll start working the volume up because, like I said, it's at 0 now. You can hear the mechanics are working. And it is working like a charm. I'm pretty excited. I'm going to turn it up kind of loud. See if you guys can hear that coming out of the headphones. It'd be cool if you could hear that. I don't know if you can. If you guys in the chat can tell me if you can hear that, let me know. Turn that back down before I blow my eardrums out. Put it back on. I'm pretty excited, you guys. Ooh, it will get loud. It will get very loud. Anything above about 30% is pretty loud. So we have 100% success on the cassette playing option here. Yes, Courtney says, yay, it's a success. And she says she could also hear that when I turned it way up on the headphones into the microphone. And Bot Boy says, awesome, have a good run. I think I will, actually. Before I go, I guess I should test the radio. I'll put it on the old FM. Our 80s station is 99.7 here. I'm scrolling. I picked up a few stations already. There it is. And Manic Monday is what's on the radio right now. 100% success rate. This worked out really well. I'm pretty excited about it. I'm going to go ahead and swap out James Bond for Prince's Batman for my jog. I told you this is like a totally AMSR thing. You can hear the cassettes opening. I'll put it right up here with while I load it. You guys can hear that. There you go. So we have complete success. I have, probably, if I had to guess, 60 or so of my favorite cassettes from the 80s out in my building. So I'll be rotating through those. It's going to be really fun to go jogging with this, which I'm about to do. I haven't jogged with a Walkman on my hip for, honestly. I think I bought my first MP3 player in 99 or 2000. So it's probably been since about 99 or 2000 since I've jogged with one of these on my hip. I'm very excited to go do that and put my cassette collection to good use. Thank you guys for being here and joining me for this. This was probably way more exciting for me than it was for you guys. It's just very much holding nostalgia in my hand. Bot Boy brings up a great point, which I actually did know, but of course I knew, but I'll share it with the world. Prince wrote Manic Monday for the Bangles. It's funny you should mention that, because on one of the CDs that came out not long after Prince passed away, it actually had the Prince version of Manic Monday on the CD. And just about 2 weeks ago, I was listening to that in the car with my son, who's 9, and I was amazed because he's only 9, and he's, the Prince version of Manic Monday comes on, and my son goes, I thought this was sung by a girl, which blew my mind that he even knew Manic Monday he's 9. Like, and I said, how did you know that? And he said, oh, you're always streaming that 80s pop station out of Germany when you're at the house, cooking and stuff. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize you were paying that much attention. So your kids do pay attention. But yes, that is a very cool, fun fact that I did not know, Bot Boy, until I picked up that CD. When I heard it on the CD was the first time I realized Prince wrote Manic Monday, which is what's currently playing on 99.7 Wolf FM, which I was able to listen to on my sweet new Walkman. So the full test worked out really well. It was made even more special by being able to share this moment with Bot Boy and Courtney. Thank you guys for sharing this moment with me. I'm about to go outside and run. It's pretty chilly out here right now. It's when I woke up this morning, it was in the 40s. It's climbed up to about mid 50s right now. So I've got my light jacket on, and I'm going to get my run with me and Prince on the Batman soundtrack, which includes Batdance, are going to go for a run together. Thanks, you guys, for being part of this test video. I'm glad it went well. Like I said, I went through 2 other used Walkmans before I finally said I'll go ahead and pick up the old RCA Walkman that was still new and sealed. And if you're wondering, by the way, they're not too expensive. This cost me, I want to say, after shipping, maybe $40. Maybe it was like $30 and 10 shipping, or it was less than $50, between 30 and 50. I can't remember, but it was in that neighborhood. And again, this style headphones made by Koss, Koss. They make them to this day, so they're very affordable. They're about $15 on Amazon. The funny thing is, it depends on what color you get. Like the gray ones were like $12, but my green ones that I got were 15 or something like that, and my purple ones were like 14. It's weird. Anyway, so that's that. And as far as cost goes on this, you look for them at yard sales and Goodwills. That's what I do. You get them for like a quarter each or 50 cents. Again, thank you guys for being here. Very cool to share this experience with you, Courtney and Bot Boy. Thanks for stopping by the Longbox Crusade channel. As always, check out our podcasts. You can point your podcatcher to Longbox Crusade, or we pretty much post all that content here on YouTube as well. If you really dig this kind of thing, I did a Nostalgia Talk podcast episode about Batman 89 on VHS. I did a Nostalgia Talk on KB Toys stores. I did one on when Mortal Kombat came out. So if you dig this kind of 80s, 90s nostalgia, I do a lot of those Nostalgia Talks. I think I've done, 7 or 8 of them now. Definitely check those out. And again, it's all under the Longbox Crusade Network. Check that out wherever you can. And thanks for being here. I'm going to go for a run. I will catch you guys later.